Thank you.
Started my 3 days of watching rugby league. I've got 360 miles to do, so I better be on my way. Well, the first match of the weekend is Leigh Leopards against York Knights. Friday night, kick-off 8 o'clock. But with having Lady P and Mini Lee, sorry, it's going to be hospitality. So we can go in from 5 o'clock. So if we look at the ground, this is the stadium. Ticket office over there. John Woods, the statue of one of the Leigh heroes. Obviously the sign above the main entrance. And here we have the club shop open before the game. And you've also got the Whistling Wren up the road for a pint before the match starts. So, Leigh Sports Village. So let's see what my prediction skills are like. Definitely going for a Leopards win. Probably by what, 12, 18 points. York Knights will put up a good fight right to the last seconds. But I think Leigh will just win it. As for the crowd, for 8,000, 8,250, something around that area. Start at one of the famous bus stops in Leigh, and we'll head down the corridor past all the executive boxes on the right hand side, or some of them. I think there's about 23 altogether. And as we continue into the banqueting suite, this is where our hospitality will be tonight. Well, for anyone who's not seen the Leigh ground before, I'll give you a quick look round. I'll do it now before it gets busy, because just before kick-off it gets very noisy. And if you spin the camera round, you can see the guys on the other side of the pitch putting out the firework display ready for later. So the ground, north stand, all standing, east stand, and across there you can see the stage. We've got Elton John tribute band on later, and the south stand where the away fans tend to go. So as I say, I'm in hospitality tonight, and for hospitality you get a 2-course meal. And tonight, if I look at the menu, it is roast chicken breast, roast potatoes, carrots and swede mash, French green beans, pigs in blankets, stuffing balls, and roast chicken gravy. And then for dessert, we'll have chocolate brownies, chocolate sauce, and vanilla chantilly. So, like I say, in the hospitality, you get the 2-course meal. You also get a band. You can see the band playing away in the distance there, and the magician. You can see the magician there as well, going round. Okay. Before the match you get a talk by a non-playing player. It's always interesting to see who the non-playing player is. Sometimes a groan when it's one of your favourites who comes up. You're nice to see them, but you want them on the pitch. Half time you can go in for tea and coffee, and after the match you go back in for talks by the player of the match, the coach Adrian Lamb, and presentations for the various sponsors. I won't be going back in after the match because I've got an early start in the morning to get down to Bedford. So what else can I tell you about the ground? You can see the stewards all getting their instructions there. North stand, east stand, and the south stand. And this, obviously, we're what's left. And down there, where the Jet 2 signs are, that's where the teams will come out later on. there goes the hooter. Leigh winning 22 to 14. Not quite as big a win as I expected, but not bad. York did fight all the way to the end. And the crowd was given out at 8,249. Couldn't have been much closer. So the second match of the weekend is Bedford Tigers against the Eastern Rhinos. If you've not heard of these, both are in the National Conference Southern section, the fourth tier of Rugby League, and the Eastern Rhinos are from Colchester. So it's only £3 to get in today, a bit cheaper than last night, which was well over £100, but you don't get any hospitality as such. The people here are very friendly, so that I suppose is the hospitality. So as we make our way in,
yeah, she's just very right.
okay. So after last night's prediction, let's have another go today. This is probably the hardest one to predict. Bedford Tigers to win, I would say, what, 10 to 16 points. Eastern Rhinos will try the best to get into the playoff positions. And as for the crowd, probably, what, under 200, something like that. So welcome to Bedford Tigers ground. Just outside on the edge of Bedford town. We've got them warming up here on the pitch. It's 4G pitch, I believe. No stands as such. You've got a rail to lean on as you go around the pitch, and there's the clubhouse. So why have I come to Bedford Tigers? Well, it's the fourth time actually I've seen them play this season. 3 times at Bedford and once at North Wales, where they were comfortably beaten, you must say. It was definitely a one-sided match, that one. But they are trying to or hope to get into the professional ranks, and there's not much I can say about them. Now I will say one thing though, for the Challenge Cup final this year, Bedford Tigers rearranged their match so that they could play on the Friday night, and it is fairly handy to get from here into Wembley, or to Wembley. So if they do the same next year, it's definitely worth stopping here, watching a match on the Friday night, then heading down to Wembley to watch the Challenge Cup final. I'll also say every time I've been here, the Bedford fans have been most welcoming. The crowd today, well, it's not looking good. You'll probably be 60, 70 at the moment. Like I said before I came in, I was expecting slightly more. And just watching the drone as well in the distance. Anyway, Bedford Tigers ground, and we'll see what they can do today. Final score: Bedford Tigers 46, Eastern Rhinos 10. So the Tigers are still on course to stay in the top 2 spots for the playoffs. The crowd, I would guess, is only about 100 for today. So I was well out on both the score and the attendance, weren't I? And on to the final game for the weekend, which is going to be Midland Hurricanes against Workington Town. Saw Workington Town play a couple of times last year in the Challenge Cup, but I've only ever seen Midland Hurricanes play once, and that was in 2022 when Cornwall played their first match down at Cornwall. It was an easy win then for the Midland Hurricanes. So I've never been to this ground. It'll be interesting to have a look round afterwards. So from the car park, again we've got hospitality today, and the meal is fish and chips or vegetable curry. And Sandra obviously will be on the vegetable curry because she can't have fish and chips. You also get a programme. The only hospitality we've got this week where you get a programme included. The Leigh one, they stopped doing programmes a couple of years back. You now just get a team sheet, and obviously Bedford Tigers don't do programmes. Well, they did one for the Challenge Cup match at the start of the year, but they don't tend to do them for the regular matches. So what else can I say? I'll show you the pitch later on from the other side. The hospitality is actually in that building there, so and we get to sit on the balcony overlooking the pitch. We also in hospitality get a talk from Earl Crabtree, who I think is the director of rugby at Midland Hurricanes now. And then after the match we'll get another talk by members of the Midland Hurricanes team, and we will be staying for that today, not like Leigh where we had to go shooting off. So the hospitality package here is £35 each, a lot cheaper than it was at Leigh. I think Leigh was worked out about £108 for the per person. So my predictions for today, seeing I've got the winning side, but the margin's slightly wrong in the last two games this weekend. We have a look at the league table at the moment. Midland Hurricanes obviously in the top half, going for the playoffs. Workington Town slightly below them, not much chance of making the playoffs. In fact, no chance of making the playoffs. And I'll go for Midland Hurricanes win by about 25 points, if not more. It's a long way for Workington to come all the way down here, so the crowd, I think if they make 300 it'll be a good day for Midland Hurricanes. So this is the pitch at Midland Hurricanes. Again, is it a 4G or a 5G pitch? Nice pitch. Look, we'll stand on the left hand side. I'm on the balcony at the clubhouse, and it's another brilliant sunny day. And I've just seen Earl Crabtree down there. He said he's on his way up to talk to me. I don't know why. So a nice little pitch. Scored boards. I've only just noticed it. And because we're, like I said, Lady Premier in hospitality with Mini Leigh is here as well today, we get to watch the pitch from up here, or watch the match from up here, sorry, not the pitch. So we will have to see how the match goes. Like I said, I expect a relatively easy win for Midland Hurricanes today, but hopefully Workington will put up a good fight, and it should be a good match.
You'll miss this one as well. Come Max, you've got it. Wait. Yes! All the way. Successful by number 2. Got my project furniture. Massive prize.
Final score was Midland Hurricanes 30, Workington Town 24. A bit unfortunate for Workington. I think they deserved a draw. It was a lot closer match than I anticipated at the start, and I've just been told the attendance was 350 today. Are we ready? Mini Leigh, what should we say about this? Well, that was our weekend of rugby. A Super League game, a Southern Conference game, and ending up with the Championship game. Which was my favourite? As a Leopards fan, I've got to say it was a Leigh game, isn't it? Mind you, the Midland Hurricanes and Workington won. Very close result at the end. And like I say, I think a draw there would have been a fair result. So over the weekend we've done about 355 miles from here down to Bedford, back to Birmingham and then back home. I would like to say both at Bedford and Midland Hurricanes, speaking to the fans there and also people who are involved in the running of the club, I'm very impressed with the commitment to keeping the Rugby League alive in what is not necessarily the heartland area. Midland Hurricanes do have a long-term plan to climb up the championship, and they seem to have laid down a good foundation for doing that. As for Bedford, they did apply a few years back to join the professional ranks. That's when Vikings were admitted, and the Tigers still would like to join the professional ranks. That's what their aim is over the next few years. And I wish Midland Hurricanes and Bedford Tigers all the best to achieve their aims. The Rugby League used to only exist along the M62 corridor, even before the M62 existed. But now with the M6 and the M1, is it time to expand outside the heartland? I wouldn't say just chuck any club in. I think the club's got to be have the right setup. I've seen too many clubs over the years come into Rugby League and fold within a few years. But I think it is time for it to be expanded. Especially when we look at the championship division this last season, I think it's been a bit of a joke. And if we could get a few more teams in, hopefully Featherstone will be back next year, but look at another few teams and probably split that back into 2 divisions. I wouldn't say bring teams in instantly at the end of the season. Give say 3 teams the nod that you build up your fan base and get your set up right, and you can join the professional ranks in about 3 years time, something like that. So them boots are too big for you. Where should we go next? What's the next match you want to go to? Bye bye for now.